It's 6:30 p.m. and rush hour on all the major routes in and out of Bradford. Motorway Cops, PC Andy Barron and PC Lindsey Pickles are coming to the end of their shift.
I'm starving now.
Don't tell me you're going to get a Chinese.
No,
now.
I'm not going to get a Chinese.
But their takeaway is going to have to wait.
I had an earpiece in on a local Bradford channel, and I could hear one of my colleagues mentioning a white Sprinter van that were making off from him. And at the same time I could hear this, a white Sprinter van came past me, and I can see blue lights from a police van.
This van had been involved or had been seen leaving the scene of a burglary. So that's the only information that we had at that time.
Yeah, we're turning, we're not trying to stop it yet. We're right on the Victor Road.
Andy and Lindsey are trained in pursuit driving.
5-1 behind you.
As they catch up with the chase, they signal to pass.
Yeah, we're pulling over till he comes through.
Tango 5-1. 5-1, we're going to intro. It's got a vehicle making off. 5-1, we're currently on St Mary's Road towards Lum Lane.
You get a rush of adrenaline, and I recall everything, gripping the steering wheel and thinking, right, we're in for a roll here.
Left onto Drummond Road. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's around the corner. You never know how members of the public are going to react. So it's a dangerous situation.
After chasing the van for 2 miles towards Bradford city centre, Andy spots a chance to try and identify the driver and gets alongside the speeding van.
Yeah, we've got an Asian male driver. Careful.
There are many things that we have to consider in a split second. If that target vehicle crashes into a family and causes serious injuries, it's always in the back of our head, what if that were my family or my colleague's family?
Left onto White's View.
Andy and Lindsey call for backup.
Where are you going towards?
Right, we're currently on Walker Drive, going back towards general direction of Thornton Road.
Lindsey's directions are crucial for the other units making their way to the chase.
Speed is now 50 miles per hour. Stand by.
The stakes are rising as the van heads back towards busy rush hour streets.
It was tea time, people coming and going from work, there's children. It's a highly residential area, the roads were all busy by the traffic lights, etc. So it's always something that we have to put first and foremost. So it's a Mercedes Sprinter. We're right, Wetley Lane again.
But before they can bring the van to a halt, the game plan suddenly changes.
Don't do that, no, don't do that. Where's it got? Oh. We're going to be aborted at this rate. What a silly thing to do.
We will abort any pursuit if the risks that they're taking far outweigh the reasons that we need to stop them. It's just not worth ending up with a fatality.
Ahead, another police car arrives and blocks the road, but the van driver is so desperate to get away, he's prepared to do anything.
Oh, he's on footpath.
We were concerned at that point, very concerned. Very fortunately, the van didn't hit anybody.
It's always one of those things that is frustrating if we do lose them after a pursuit, but if it has to be aborted, it has to be aborted. We're now back onto Wetley Lane. We've got one front seat passenger that's on the phone and a driver.
It's going to be a decamp, is this in a minute, I reckon. I don't think they're going to keep going for long.
But then the van driver makes his first big mistake.
We've gone left onto Glenholme Road and then left again. Oh, it's collided with a small wall, but it's continuing.
It's going to decamp, it's lost its back wheel.
It's lost its rear near side wheel.
That's the riskiest point of losing somebody. As soon as they leave the vehicle and start running, that's when you may lose them.
He's losing control as he's going round corners because he hasn't got the stability at the back end.
As the damaged van speeds down a residential street, an unmarked car joins the chase.
I'm going to...
We're Ashwell Road now, Ashwell Road.
The van is going round in circles, and Andy gambles on taking a back road to try and cut it off.
Careful.
They're head-to-head with the van, but the driver spots a way out.
Careful, Amber.
There was a gap in the parked cars that presented itself to this driver.
Let him get through.
Oh, nail it.
He's going to kill something, this idiot.
Getting the 2.5-ton police car turned in the tight city back streets leaves Andy and Lindsey playing catch-up.
With any location update, we're now Walker Drive.
Sneak camps.
Finally, a city centre patrol car has forced the driver to stop.
On your feet, mate. On your feet. Nice and steady. Nice and steady, lad. On 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put you in the span, all right?
2 men are pulled from the van.
Get up now.
Yeah, you're under arrest for failing to stop for police, dangerous driving. Caution that you don't have to say anything, may harm your defence if you don't mention. When questioned, something which you later rely in court. Have you anything on you at all that you shouldn't have?
No, mate.
Any weapons, anything sharp that could harm us?
Nothing like that,
Right.
PC Mark Claxton finally brought the van to a halt.
They seemed a very desperate man to get away for some reason. If you look here, rubber gloves on the floor, when that's usually an indication that a vehicle's stolen. Damage to that's not going to, but we'll see if we can get into the rear of the van and get out.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Okay. That'll be the smell. It is a mobile cannabis factory. That'll be the reason that they've gone to try and get away and why he's had rubber gloves on in front. Lindsey and Andy, who've decided to stop this vehicle and it's been brought to their attention, have just done an absolutely excellent job.
During the chase, Andy suspected the van might be carrying cannabis.
The stench coming from back at van, even in his car following it, were quite overwhelming.
To get that haul is significant, really. It's an excellent result. Take that amount of cannabis off the street.
And it's taking 2 major drug dealers off at road. So, yeah, we could do with identifying them as quickly as possible and finding out where they've been grown and see if there's any more and confiscating all the equipment.
Now, Andy and Lindsey must try and piece together whether the cannabis was being moved from a safe house or if it was stolen.
When you find something like that in the back of a van, it's not the end of the inquiry, it's just the beginning.
"15 miles away, PC's Paul Crabtree and Chris Percy are eastbound on the M62.
Oh, look, the entry slip road's nice and clear. That's just what I like to see.
You can go home and sleep safe and sound tonight, then, can't you?
This is the main artery across England from Liverpool to Hull. It's one of the busiest motorways in the country.
During the daytime, it's more dealing with accidents and incidents as they come in, but at night time, the opportunity is there for speed.
As the rush hour traffic clears, the cops want to ensure no one is tempted to put their foot down.
Yeah, if they're driving at speed and they see us and they slow down, stop them.
Yeah,
then they're observant.
Don't mind that, yeah.
They're switched on. They know what's happening around them.
But not everyone has seen the motorway cops sitting on the slipway.
Oh, Silver Focus. He's got a bit of pace about him. That's fine.
Yeah, my colleague's just seen a car come past while I've been parked up on the entry slip road at speed in lane 3. So we've just set off to chase after it.
The car is travelling so fast, it's nearly out of sight when Paul and Chris join the motorway.
Whereabouts is it now, Paul?
It's just over this brow, still lane 3. There he is.
We're still doing 110 miles an hour. He hasn't seen us, he's still going. We've got to start. So we'll just follow him and see how he goes now. You could think of it as cat and mouse. It is dark, you won't be able to see our markings.
They're obviously not looking in the mirrors, they're not being observant. Otherwise they'd realise that it could be the police that's coming up behind them.
Unaware that the cops are on his tail, the driver keeps his foot down as Paul and Chris begin to gather evidence.
Start the equipment and it measures the time, and the second button measures distance, and then we do the same to finish the check, so it measures time distance of the vehicle in front.
98.41 average.
Time's just over a minute, 1 minute and 4 seconds, so we'll definitely be stopping this driver and dealing with him.
At nearly 100 miles an hour, the driver's stopping distance is over 200 metres, the length of 2 football pitches.
Now, if anything mechanical goes wrong at those sorts of speeds, if you get a puncture or a blowout, the driver's going to lose control.
The cops now have the evidence they need to pull the driver over.
Nice gap there for him to go in. Now we've got blues on, which he's taking. He's in his vehicle thinking, I want to go at this speed, and to hell with everybody else that's around me.
Hello, sir. Can you just join us a second in our car? We need to have a chat.
In my eyes, he needs sorting out.
Is it your car?
Yeah.
What's your name? How long have you had the car?
I've just took it off a friend.
You bought it off him?
No, I just took it off him 2 days ago.
You've taken it off him?
Yeah.
Who's your insurance policy with?
Mine's with the...
Right, I'm going to stop you. This is all getting a little bit vague, all right? Let's go right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Is it your car?
No, the vehicle's it's a company's car.
Right, so when I asked you to start with, is it your car, you said yes.
It's not a good start when someone starts telling you one thing and then changing the story halfway through.
I was pledging to not buying it, to be honest with you. I'm just driving it.
Right, whose car is it? There's no point lying to us because we will find out. And sometimes people just need a little chance to start again. Do you know why we stopped you? Now we've got that out of the way. You don't? No. OK. We've been behind you since junction 22. OK? Now this might start to ring a bell as to why we've stopped you. Do you want to have a wild guess now? Now I tell you how long we've been behind you.
No.
It's a good 7 or 8 miles.
Fair enough. What we've done basically, we've just seen you go past the junction going quite quick. What we've done is we've done a following check on your speed. And you're out in front of us, 100, 101, 102, that's you there, OK? 106, 109.
Doing those sort of speeds, you know all about it because it's making lots of rattling noises and it's sounding very loud. And it's probably feeling a bit twitchy at that sort of speed.
In fairness, you know you're doing that because you're going to have to put some past into a focus to do 110 up that slope, all right? What happens, fortunately for you, is a car comes out in front of you and you have to back your speed off. And if you notice there's some lights coming out in front of you, speed starts to drop back, all right? The average check at the end there, 98.41 is your average speed over that distance we've covered.
Because that vehicle moved out in front of him, then yes, the average did come down and it brought him into the realms of points rather than a ban.
A little bit too quick there, isn't it? All right, what's the rush?
The driver might have escaped an automatic ban, but his ordeal isn't over yet. 15 miles away, back in Bradford, the cannabis haul is stirring up a lot of interest. Andy wants it off the streets as soon as possible.
We've got a big crowd in the middle of Girlington, so we need the cannabis in the van moving as soon as possible.
You say it's full of cannabis. How full of cannabis is it?
It's a Mercedes Sprinter long wheelbase, and the back of it is full of cannabis. So that's the sort of volume we're talking about. It's basically a cannabis factory on wheels and moving somewhere else. I would suggest it needs to go to Stony Wood and be photographed when it arrives.
The cops now have information that earlier on the van was seen leaving a house only a few miles away.
Seen being loaded up. Member of the public's running into us saying there's someone suspicious about it. It looks like they're taking a grow either to another house moving it, or they're going to clean it up and sell it.
Now the cops have a van loaded with cannabis and an address to raid. They race round to see what else they might find.
There still could be more cannabis back at the house and possibly other people at the house.
But they may be too late. The house is deserted. Officers find what's left of a 4-storey cannabis farm. Sergeant Adam Crisp is supervising the house search.
When we've got to the address, we've realised that somebody's forced entry to the ground floor and then they've stolen cannabis. You can see the trail of cannabis leading to the exit of the door.
The cops are sure that the plants in the van originally came from the house.
They could have been the people that have set up this is cannabis factory, or they could have been tipped off that, the police are coming, or it could be a rival, drug dealers' cannabis factory that they are trying to rip off.
A mile away, back at the van, Lindsey gets an update from Sergeant Adam Crisp.
What they're saying is they need to, because obviously they've got the cannabis plants at the house and they've got these, they want to take a sample so that they can say that they're the same one.
The cannabis seizure will lead to a major investigation. But for now, Andy and Lindsey's work is done.
Has anyone checked tyres in this van? Have a look.
It's got a rear and near side flat, I think. It's possibly under limit. It's certainly underinflated. Come on, we're on.
Food.
Andy and Lindsey can finally take a break.
That was a nice little job, wasn't it?
On the M62, PC's Paul Crabtree and Chris Percy are still listening to a driver's excuses. They want to know why he was speeding at nearly 100 miles an hour.
Right, what's the rush?
I needed to get home.
For what reason?
I've got a really bad stomach.
Right, you're going to have an even really bad stomach, even more so, when you hit Central Reservation and splash your intestines all down motorway. Because if you hit something at 100 mile an hour, that's what's going to happen to you. There's not going to be a great deal left, and we're going to have to come and put your stomach in a bag, and that's going to hurt an awful lot more than it will do just toddling home and getting yourself a Reddy's when you get there.
Who else is in the car with you?
Just a friend of mine.
A friend of yours?
Yeah.
To put other people at risk for your own benefit it's got to be selfish, really, hasn't it? Obviously, not a thought for anybody else.
It's just that I've got a really bad stomach, officer, and I really need to get to the toilet.
Now, call me cynical, but your stomach won't hurt you when you got in.
It was.
You could then see that he was starting to screw his face up and make like he was in agony with this stomach problem that he's got, which looked like it was a bit of a last-ditch attempt, really, to try and get off the offence.
He wasn't doing that when he got in, so no, I didn't believe him at all.
What we're going to do, my colleague's going to take some details and I'll give you a written notice, which is notice of intended prosecution, and a decision will be made as to whether you are summoned to court for the offence of speeding. That probably will come through the post within the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks, okay?
Yeah, it's just I'm in the CV office. I'm going abroad, so...
Where are you going to?
Pakistan.
And how long are you going for?
End of year.
To the end of the year, so you're going for a couple of months?
Yeah.
And then you're coming back to the UK or not?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
You are? You're permanent resident in the UK?
Yeah.
That's another excuse that he's using to try and get away with it. Oh, I'm not going to be in the country, so you can't prosecute me. He can even be prosecuted in his absence. Points can be put on his licence. So when he does return back to the country, those points and a fine will be waiting for him.
That's a written version of what I've told you there, which gives you the details of what we've said to you. If you do come back from abroad and you realise that you've missed a date on your summons or something, contact him, just explain it to him. You've got a valid reason.
Before Paul can issue a notice of intent to prosecute, the driver has one more surprise for the cops.
I've even had to put one of these down my pants as well.
One of what down your pants?
It's gone hard now.
You've put it down your pants and it's gone hard?
Yeah.
It's not what you want to hear when somebody sat behind you that they've got something hard down the trousers, especially when you can't see what's going on.
Keep me thinking, I'm really bad down there, you don't understand. Keeps it warm.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into what you've put down your trousers.
Yeah, sometimes it's very hard with some people. Some of the things to come out with is to keep a straight face. You do have to put a lot of effort into it.
OK, you take care. See you later.
Okay, make sure you build up your speed on the hard shoulder before you move into the live lane, okay?
I had to put that down my pants.
Paul and Chris can't quite believe their ears.
I've put this down my trousers and it's gone hard. That is what he's just said to me, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah. What was he talking about?
He's got one of them, them gel things for sports injuries.
Oh, right.
They're all mushy. He's obviously popped it down front of his trousers.
Oh, get your speed up, don't pull straight out, don't do it. Oh, he's been all right. Not too bad.
He sat perfectly, given the fact that he has got a sporty thing down his pants, he sat fine till he mentioned speed, and then he started doing his little...
Yeah,
oh.
Sure it was a story he just invented. He knew why we'd stopped him.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah. No, you just never know what you're going to come across.
Particular week was just a general National Road Safety Week, so it's almost a catch-all. Just get out there, see what we can find.
Dale and Helen head to a busy slipway near Junction 27. Their job is to pull vehicles in for inspection before they have the chance to get onto the motorway.
If the vehicles are not safe, or if they're doing anything wrong in general, if they're doing it repeatedly, their turn will come.
Dale's attention is soon caught by an old recovery van.
It just stands out as a vehicle, really.
We'll take it and have a look around it. Just age of vehicle, there could be a whole host of things wrong with it.
I suppose some people may think mountain out of a molehill. It may seem trivial, it may seem quite harsh if we start talking about something like a bald tyre, but it's that. It only takes a split second for it to evolve into something so much more.
Nothing to worry about. I'm sure you've been stopped at this sort of thing before.
I was off to Toys R Us, that's all, to pick a reserve present up. I thought, what's this about?
This guy who was very chatty, but I suppose it just comes with experience. You realise some people are just trying to befriend you as a means to an end.
It sometimes don't come up on insurance thing. If you give me
Which
a producer,
company is it with?
I can't remember. I think it's Tradewise. Right. If you give me a producer, I can bring you I can produce.
We'll ring up and check as we always do.
All right, well,
Saves you producing.
Sometimes people can seem too keen to help. When people start quoting these phrases, these offences to you, if they know it that well, they've obviously been there, done it and got the T-shirt. So it certainly makes you wonder, who exactly am I dealing with here?
What sort of policy is it?
Recovery policy.
Right, I didn't know if it were recovering sales
No,
or...
it's MOT'd as well, because you're not allowed to use them if they're MOT'd, exempt for personal.
He tried a little bit too hard, and everything unravelled from there, really.
Customs officers have run a check on the recovery truck's fuel, and the news isn't good for the driver.
I suspect it's red diesel. We've done you before, haven't we? Not long ago. No. Oh, we tested you before. We tested you before.
It's about 50p a litre cheaper than the standard clear greeny coloured diesel, what you'd normally buy. Running tractor equivalent JCB, as long as it's not on a road, we're fine to use it. It's exactly the same product. The red diesel just has a dye placed in it at manufacture to indicate it's not suitable to be on the roads. What will it be then? 500 quid?
Well, it's been done before, so you'll have to decide on see how many times it's actually been done. I definitely did it about 3 months ago, so...
The driver has an excuse.
It's not my fault, I've just put £20 worth of white in at Tesco's.
But the evidence is stacking up, and his day is about to get worse.
It's almost shake the tree and see what falls out, and more often than not, more than one thing does.
While they continue to examine the van, 10 miles east on the M621 south of Leeds, PC's Phil Stonebanks and Dave Robson are also on the lookout for motorists breaking the law.
I do love my job. I mean, I couldn't be stuck in an office. You never know what's going to happen with this job. That's the main thing about it.
One thing they do know is that uninsured drivers are a major problem. 1 in 20 risk driving without insurance, adding around £380 million a year to the cost of everyone else's bill.
No insurance is a massive problem, particularly around West Yorkshire, so we're doing our best to try and combat the problem as best we can.
He's not wanting to go past behind the old Skoda Fabia.
Just 30 minutes into their shift, and a car has caught their attention.
I usually play a game with them to see how slow you can get before they do eventually come past.
The speed limit there is 50 miles an hour as you're coming down into Leeds, and at one point I think we got down to 38 miles an hour. He just didn't want to come past us, so that immediately sets the alarm bells ringing.
As the car is finally forced to overtake the cops, Phil checks the driver's details on the police national database.
Fabia, a male driver, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Female owner, let's see who's on the insurance. Permitted driver, insured only.
Were they?
That's reason enough to check him out.
Right like that?
Yeah.
99% certain it was a male driver. Yeah, arm works. Bring him in.
These are the people that are our bread and butter. We're going out there and we're actively trying to take these people off the road.
Come on in. Is this your car? What's your name, please? Right. Marvellous. Just checking the insurance. Whose insurance are you driving on, sir? Because according to the insurance, there's only you on the insurance to drive the vehicle. You've got another vehicle that you're insured on, have you? Is the vehicle that you're on about registered to you? It's registered in your name?
He was a bit hesitant, but, you know, he was a plausible character. You know, we get some people, it's obvious from the minute you start speaking to them that they're lying through the back teeth. But we still need to get him in the back of our car just to run the necessary checks.
What's your name, sir, please?
It's Aaron Johnson.
you spell your first name for me?
It's Aaron Johnson, but my name's Dean Johnson, but it's like, it's more, I don't even know if everyone just calls me Aaron, but it's Dean.
Right, what name's on your driving licence?
Dean Aaron Johnson.
And what's your home address?
It's
Yeah. Right, you known to the police at all? You ever been arrested or had your fingerprints taken?
No.
Right, excellent. You got a full driving licence?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do you have it on you?
No, I haven't, no.
The driver licence check is usually the one that catches them out. Everybody, if they've got a driving licence, it will be recorded on the police national computer. It's just a case of putting the right details into the computer.
Yeah, can you just run the driver through for us, please? Just do a driver licence check. Surname of Johnson, 2 forenames of Dean, Aaron. Where are you heading for then?
I'm just going to Leeds to a christening, yeah.
Listen to 7-1.
Go ahead.
7-1 again, there's no trace on those details. There's nobody with that name.
No, I didn't.
We tried postcode search and everything, but there was just nothing there, which it sets the alarm bells ringing. It was quite obvious that he wasn't telling the truth.
And the driver isn't going anywhere until Phil finds out what he's trying to hide. Just off the M62, the recovery truck driver is starting to feel the heat. His vehicle is failing every test, and now the lack of tread on his tyres is under scrutiny.
What does that say? Yeah, 0.39. Yeah, right in the sentence. So you need 1.6 millimetres to be lawful. So this is an illegal tyre. So I'm going to report to the police officer here.
Everybody's going to be dealing with you, really. Obviously, customs will deal with you for their side of things with running up red diesel. Though, sir, I assume it's going to be some form of a prohibition.
Yeah. There's also on your brake fluid.
Things are mounting up, and all the agencies, everybody's writing their own pieces of paper. Not good news for him when he looks around, and whichever direction he turns, he sees somebody else writing a report on him.
The bald tyre is an automatic 3 points.
It'll have to be a report of 192 for Tiger 7.
Will it be points?
Foot tyre?
Will it be points?
Just.
So I'm all right for this foot licence?
He can if he wants
will
to.
Will
Or
it be points for tyre? Take that out on the first
right.
one.
Bald tyre does carry points typically, all right. But because you're already on 12 points.
It's on 15.
I'm on 15.
You're on 15.
I've got unlawful.
But he kept it in court.
I kept it in court.
Right, okay. Well, it'll be down to a court whether they disqualify you, won't it? There's not much else he could have been doing wrong here today in terms of the people what's here. His licence is shown expired because he's not surrendered it after being given more points at court. On the face of his licence, he's got 6 points. He's actually just said he's actually got 15. If I was a betting man, I would expect him is going to be subject to a disqualification on this occasion.
And now he's also going to lose his van. The red diesel in his engine and the bald tyre means this vehicle is being seized.
I don't feel sorry for these people. How can these people expect my sympathy?
See you later.
Everything, what happened, and the vehicle ended up being taken away. It was all their doing, it wasn't ours.
Which leaves the unhappy driver with a long walk home. Back on the hard shoulder of the M621, Phil and Dave are still trying to confirm the Skoda driver's identity.
The address on your licence,
Yeah.
Aaron, is it this address or is it your previous address?
No, I was at my mum's at the time, no.
And that's definitely the address that's on your licence?
No, that's my address where I live now.
Right, what address is on your licence?
Oh, it's my mum's address.
Which is?
Stand
by.
Yeah.
The second excuse he came up with was, it must be his mum's address that's on his licence and not his girlfriend's address. So we checked on that one.
Go ahead.
Doesn't seem to exist in Nottingham, but there is a...
No.
Don't believe.
It was hard work with this guy. I think he just ended up tying himself up in knots.
Have you got anything with your name on it, Aaron? Any bank cards or anything like that, either on you or in the car?
No, I got my gym membership. Let me see. I don't think this is.
I've got a name on it anyway.
Then he came out with his gym card, which had no photograph on it, didn't have his name on it.
Oh, God, I was going to go for a sauna as well early this morning, but I didn't get time.
You're making this hard work for us, aren't you?
I know, I'm sorry.
Just go have a word with your good lady, just let her know what's happening.
Okay.
Phil's hoping the girlfriend can shed some light on the driver's identity.
Right, what's his full name?
Dean Johnson.
Is he called Aaron, though?
Right, is that what he's doing, yeah?
Yeah, Dean He says everybody calls him Aaron. Is it Aaron or is it Dean?
I call him Dean.
You call him Dean?
Yeah.
How long you been with him?
A couple of years.
Right, it says everybody else calls him Aaron. Speaking to his girlfriend, I don't think she even knew the name Aaron. She didn't even know where that had come from, so that was the clincher for me. What do you say people refer to you as? Is it Dean or is it Aaron?
Well, yeah, Dean, but Aaron, like more people.
Right.
Yeah.
It was quite obvious that he couldn't lie straight in bed, and all the answers he was giving were just rubbish.
With all lines of inquiry drawing a blank, Phil calls in a second motorway cop with a mobile fingerprint machine.
Right, just jump out for us, Aaron. He'll do it here at the side of the road. There's a bit more room to stand here and do it. You're just going to put your finger on this machine and just check some details on that. We're going to have to do it, mate. We're not 100% satisfied with your identity. We can't find you on any of the systems. This is a problem we've got. It can be frustrating when you're dealing with something like that, when you know they're telling lies, and it's a long, laborious process to get to the end of it. But the fingerprint device does save time. We were able to identify them within a matter of seconds. No.
Finally, the truth is out, and or Dean, also known as Aaron, decides to come clean.
Go on then, what do you want to tell us? What's your real name? Right, why didn't you tell us that an hour ago?
It's just that I panicked. I'm on a provisional, we're on the way to the christening, and I just wanted to get there.
Provisional licence holders obviously aren't allowed on the motorway, full stop. The only place they can drive legally is on non-motorway roads, provided that they're supervised by a qualified driver. If you do get caught, then you're looking at between 5 and 8 points in your driving licence and £200, £400, £500 fine, so it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
While he tries to explain his way out of trouble, his girlfriend leaves him to the motorway cops.
She's abandoned you, mate.
Give her a ring.
She's gone without you.
A lucky escape for her.
It was quite possible that his girlfriend could have been arrested as well for attempting to pervert the course of justice.
But the driver is still hopeful he might yet talk his way out of trouble.
I'm not trying to talk to you like idiots or nothing like that.
Well, unfortunately, you have for the past hour. You've tried to treat us like idiots by pretending that you were someone else. And I've asked you numerous times if these are your right details, and you've said yes, and that wasn't the case, was it? No is the answer, isn't it? We can get something down on paper, and then you'll be reported for summons, and you'll get a summons through the post. At the end of the day, we're not vindictive, so we just couldn't turf him out in a strange city at the side of the road, so being the nice guys that we are, we decided to drop him off down at the train station. He's not done himself any favours. He had plenty of opportunity there to tell us his real name. Right, there you go, mate, we'll let you out. But the fingerprint device doesn't lie, and it's just confirmed exactly who he is and that he doesn't have a driving licence. He's admitted he's not insured to drive the vehicle, but he's also looking at going to court for the offence of obstructing a PC by attempting to give us false details.
That was hard work.
We got there in the end. High five. Cheesy or what?
Yeah.
As night falls across West Yorkshire, a new police team takes to the roads. PC Mick Roth and Rob Jones are from the Yorkshire and Humber Regional Crime Team. These officers travel across 4 counties in search of criminals using the roads.
We cover the whole region, which is a huge area, and you have main motorways like the A1M and the M1 and the M62 running through it. We're really out to catch criminals, organised crime groups, burglars, car thieves, drug dealers, that kind of thing.
Tonight they're travelling in convoy behind another unmarked car. They don't normally deal with traffic offences, but as they leave the M1 to join the M621, a driver grabs their attention.
Who's working, who's not working? Pushing me along for ages.
Poor driving annoys every decent motorist, and the cops are no different.
This guy was absolutely right up behind us, fag paper between us, trying to push his way past, and hadn't twigged that we were police.
Just tell Ross to keep an eye on him, see, because he might just cane it on here and then he might just... Well, he's right at the chuff of that wagon.
Unsettling, I know.
Ross, just keep an eye on this Toyota thing in front of us, please, mate. This has been right up our chuff all the way down that last road.
There's a Toyota Yaris just in front of us. Come onto the motorway, it's cut right across the solid white paint onto the carriageway far too early, which is potentially very dangerous.
Once the driver hits the fast lane, he puts his foot down.
Is it still 50?
Yes, sir.
Right. 75 down outside lane there.
Past the 50 side. You can have it in mind. Your rat's coming out.
It's growing, isn't it? It's growing. Rat's going to bite him in a minute.
Cops have a nickname for their colleagues who dish out tickets.
The term rat or black rat is widely known, I think, as traffic officers. It's a generic term and it's just seen as a bit of a joke, really. They do a great job and they're very good at what they do.
Roughies in a rat is surfacing, mate. He's thinking about a speeding ticket.
I have a reputation for being the rat on the team, so it was quite amusing to me that he's the one that was getting all het up about the way this fella was driving.
But the driver's not finished yet.
Is he going to squeeze his way in here?
Driver, nowhere, speed away.
Oh,
every time.
Yes. As soon as he crossed those white lines and pulled that dangerous manoeuvre, that was a point where there's no going back from this.
He has defo won himself a ticket.
When we got to the feeding in lane there, he's gone straight across the chevron areas, making his own lane up as he goes along. So we're going to speak and have words about the manner of his driving.
You over.
If we'd not stopped him and spoken to him, then I have every expectation that he would have caused an accident at some point.
How do? Are you in a rush for a particular reason, or...?
I just wasn't thinking.
Come take a seat in house for us, please, mate. Let's have a quick natter. Bring your keys with you. Just jumping back, mate. This side, I'll say, otherwise you'll get squashed on motorway. And that is far too much writing.
I didn't like his driving at all, no. Obviously in a rush for some reason, but far too quick that, and he was doing silly manoeuvres as well. When you're joining in rush hour conditions and it's busy, a slight manoeuvre could go wrong really, and it could end up in causing all sorts of carnage. Oh. Right, pal. You've obviously committed several offences there with your manner of driving, which is very unfortunate for you that we're in an unmarked car and we've seen it all and captured it on video. So I'll caution you and tell you that you don't have to say anything, but it may have your defence if you don't mention when questioning something which later on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that? Anything you want to say to that? No, OK.
Mick just got into full flow straight away and started trying to educate this fella on the error of his ways.
I'll warn you about your manoeuvres joining, crossing solid white paint, joining onto 621, and I'll warn you about your due care and attention as you've overtook them cars. As it comes to 2 lanes to 1 lane on entry to here, you've gone all the way down outside, all of Atchins, cut past 3 cars and then joined, haven't you? If you remember that, do you? Do you have any points on your licence at the minute? How many? 6, what for? What, on the average cameras? What, twice or just once or?
Twice.
Right. I fill in this fixed penalty notice. Fixed penalty is what it says it is. It's 3 penalty points on your licence and a £60 fine. He may learn one day when, you know, he's either, if he's lucky, he'll lose his licence, but if he's unlucky, he'll cause someone to be killed or seriously injured. He needs to sort himself out.
He's got 6 points already, both on the 25th of June on the M62. So he's not learning, his lad.
Well, you were in a rat for the evening.
Mine or Mick's?
It'll never quell Jonesy's in a rat.
20 miles away, just north of Bradford, PC Andy Barron is back on shift. Tonight, he's with PC Martin Willis. In the early hours of the morning, the roads may be quiet, but there are still plenty of lawbreakers around.
We get people that are high on drugs, we get people that are really drunk, we get people with prostitutes in the car that are engaged in sexual activities. It could be anything at that sort of time of morning.
Let's run this one. In fact, let's just stop it.
It was a car that was out of place. It was late at night, there was not a lot of traffic on the road. And I recall this car being driven what we would describe as erratic.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Everything's worth stopping, isn't it?
It was doing things that you wouldn't expect a careful, competent driver to do. It just heightens your suspicion.
Have a seat.
No, fella.
could smell the alcohol, you could smell it had been drinking something. He almost crawled out of the car.
Sorry, what did you say your name was? OK. Because I can smell alcohol, I'm going to request a breath test, all right. Where is it you're travelling to? Is this where you were going to stop anywhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you live here?
No, I have a business here.
OK, mate. All I require to do then is deep breath, long continuous blow through this machine until it stops beeping. All right? Have you given a breath test before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then.
Is it hard, I think?
Yeah.
For doing it.
We'll see if it goes on that. We're a bit hard, but we'll see.
The driver seems to know he's in big trouble. Anything above an alcohol count of 35 and he risks losing his licence.
I think from speaking to you, you're probably going to be over the limit. And I think you're expecting to be over the limit.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
It's gone to 112.
And what I should be?
Yeah, you say they'll accept.
How many?
35.
Oh, right, OK.
Mixing a car with alcohol to that level is more dangerous than a loaded gun. You're talking a tonne of metal on a road at speed. It's going to devastate anything that it hits.
And what it means is you'll have to come with us to the station. We'll have to get a more accurate sample.
Right. OK. At this moment in time, you're under arrest on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle whilst over the sky limit. OK, you don't have to say anything that may harm your defence. You don't mention when questioned, something which will later line in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. OK, do you understand?
Thank you. I do, yeah.
3-4.
Yep. His world has just ended. I think he knew about it as soon as I spoke to him. He's just blown 3 or 4 times over the legal limit. So he's coming with us, drink driving. So this is going to have a big impact on him, unfortunately for him.
But right now, the driver still thinks he can beat the breath test.
Can we stop off and get something to eat? Please. Can I have a burger?
We can't. I don't want to fall out with you.
Oh, I know.
We've got various rules.
I'm not being rude, am I?
No, you're not.
I'm trying to obviously not fail this, because if I fail this, I'm absolutely...
Yeah.
He was full of himself, he was in high spirits, he was typically drunk. I got the impression that he thought that if he could be really, really pally and confident with us, that we'd, take him down curry shop, I think, and buy him a takeaway.
Can I call my solicitor before I even do any of this? I'm not trying to rude, but I'm probably going to blow over, so...
You can't delay the actual evidential sample.
He seemed to think that if he delayed it, he would be much more likely to get off, and he was quite happy to tell us that, and tell us that were his tactic.
And as they pull into the police station, the driver makes another desperate attempt to get off.
Unless you all want to go out more, I'll just get laid, be easier, just reverse. No.
Incredible, some of the things they were coming out with. But again, we expect everything when you're drunk.
Come on then, mate.
Not surprisingly, it doesn't work. His only destination is the custody suite, where he'll be providing the breath test that will really count. 70 miles away on the M62 near Hull, Mick and Rob are still on the road. They're racing to a suspected break-in.
Postcode. When that kind of call comes in, you know that there could be a job in it. You get that bit of adrenaline spike, and you just know if we can get into the area and get everything sorted and catch these people, it's just why you come to work.
We've just passed a job out of a local channel saying there's been some burglars disturbed on premises somewhere nearby. We're less than half a mile from the address at the minute, and there's a couple of cars making their way. There's no descriptions of anybody. We don't know what's been stolen, if anything has on yet. So we're going to get there and see if we can contain the area. Hopefully grab 2 burglars.
Let's get out on foot, because it's all gated and terraced, isn't it?
We think you're already off
I'm going for a wander.
Mick and I were making a bit of an area search to try and find people running away from the address, if you like. Hopefully swag bag in hand.
As soon as someone's disturbed or they commit a crime, they're off on their toes. They're not going to be at the scene of crime. Who's that? Come around that corner quickly. I could see a guy run from right to left, and he came running into the terrace towards us. And I instantly thought, this is him, this has got to be him.
Hey buddy, how we doing? Can you just borrow you 2 seconds?
Just take your hands out of your pockets then, pal. Yeah. What are you up to, pal?
Going for a walk.
You've been running, haven't you?
No, I haven't been running. I suffer with asthma, mate.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You're out of breath, pal,
What's your name, pal? Right, there's been a burglar nearby, pal.
Take your hands out of your pockets.
Well, what do you do with me, mate?
We don't know that, don't we, until we speak to you?
Well, speak, can you
for
help
now,
me, please?
For now, you detain for the purpose of a search, mate, under Police and Criminal Evidence Act.
But I've done nothing wrong, mate.
You've been searched. All right, pal?
All right, I'll search you.
No, hands
Hey,
on pocket.
take your hands.
All right.
I don't know you, do I?
No, I haven't
Stop putting your hands.
You get upset for some reason. Just calm yourself down.
Listen, calm down. Ultimately, he could be doing anything by putting his hands in there. He could have a weapon. He may want to attack me. He may have some evidence that he wants to conceal.
You keep your hands where you can see him. You ain't going to put your hands up in air, pal. It's not America. It's just when people start going into the pockets, I don't know what's in there.
As my mate's explained, mate, there's been a burglary not 2 streets away. You've come round corner running, haven't you?
No, I haven't come round corner, mate.
Why you come running round end for me,
no,
pal?
I come walking round, mate.
You didn't?
I did.
No, you never.
I did. I've done nothing wrong, mate. That's God's honest.
Are you known to us?
It's not illegal
Yeah,
to run.
yeah.
What are you known for?
Burglary.
Burglary.
No, excuse me. Let me finish. Burglary in the past, mate.
How long since has it passed?
Last time I got done for burglary?
Yeah.
06.
Last time you were charged or last time you were arrested?
This guy, I knew at the time, is a career criminal. He's committed burglaries all his life, really, from being very, very young up into how old he is now. I mean, he's as old as my dad.
Because that's for my bike when it's raining, that's my torch.
What's that for?
My torch, my lamp, because on my bike.
It's not a bike lamp, it's just
no,
a torch.
I know that. Just you them all.
Oh, it ain't looking good for you.
No,
Alice,
listen.
Hey,
No, listen.
come on. He's just a pain, he's just a bit of a blight on society, really. He's never going to be rehabilitated. He's never going to stop what he's doing. He will commit crime all his life.
That's my money. Right, this.
Just going to put it on top of the spin, all right?
Right, and I'll tell you now, and I've been nicked with him before, and I've been let out.
I'm going to find something here then, aren't I?
Yeah,
We're building up to something here, aren't we?
No. Some ball bearings that I use for stressing my hand.
Ball bearings are stressing you out?
Yeah. Listen.
Not smashing windows?
No. I don't smash windows, mate.
Oh, don't you?
No.
They're not stress balls, they're ball bearings for breaking windows. But from then on, I think he knew in the back of his mind that he was on an hiding to nothing, because before I'd searched him and found things, he started to offer explanations for them.
I'll tell you now, I've got some spark plugs that I've had in my pocket for months.
Oh, some bit of spark plugs as well?
Yeah, I've had them for months.
Funny that.
I've even been nicked with Forrester by him.
Right.
And they haven't done nothing.
Strange that you nicked with me now as well, isn't it?
Oh, so what?
It's the ceramic coating around the top of the spark plug. It's mega, mega sharp when it's broken off into pieces. It's classic tools to smash windows.
The cops have more than enough evidence to arrest him.
Next, he's going to take his coat off and he'll have a stripy jumper on and a black mask or something like that, because it's just absolute classic burglary. It couldn't have been a better job for us. I almost could have pulled out a bag that said swag on it. Put the cuffs on, mate.
What for? What for?
Because at this moment in time, you're under arrest on suspicion of burglary. It's happened 2 streets away.
What to do with me?
With good reason, aren't I?
With good reason,
Well,
what?
if it's not to do with you, then it's not to do with you,
Nothing
isn't
to do
it?
with me.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Huh?
You try to not to laugh, and you've obviously got to remain professional, but in the back of your mind you're thinking, these are ridiculous excuses. I know what you've done, you know what you've done, why are you even bothering?
I don't do burglaries now. And that is God's honest truth. I was at court last week.
You're out of breath, you've got gloves on you.
Listen,
stuff to smash windows with.
For information, the lad we've got locked up on suspicion of this job has got ball bearings in his pockets and apparently spark plugs on his person. So if you can find any ball bearings, it'd be good.
While the man protests his innocence,
Nothing to do with me.
In a minute.
Rob waits to hear back from officers at the burgled house.
Right, Bob, all this in here.
And then finds his own key piece of evidence.
That lady's watch.
I've found it earlier on.
The way the window is smashed, it's completely shattered.
At that point, I was thinking, this lad is banged to rights. That watch has to be from the burglary.
Get that camera up my face.
Hey, listen.
Calm down.
Shut up.
No.
And the burglar seems to know that his fate is sealed. Back in Bradford, Andy and Martin have arrived in the custody suite with their drunk driver.
Right, Sergeant. OK, he's come and sat in the back of the vehicle. Could smell intoxicants on his breath and has provided a breath sample of 112 micrograms in 100 millilitres of breath.
That's a reading more than 3 times over the legal limit.
And what have you been drinking this evening, last night?
Lager.
How much would you say that you had?
6, 7 maybe.
This driver had consumed an awful lot of alcohol.
What time did you start drinking?
5, then stopped. 3 hours. Then 9 till 11.
I think no matter how drunk you are, there at some point is that conscious decision that you're going to get in a car and drive it when you're not fit to drive it.
First question, would you like a solicitor?
Yes.
Anybody in particular?
Yep.
Who would that be?
I would need Yellow Pages or the internet, please.
Okay, on the internet.
Yellow Pages for Bradford and Wakefield, please.
The cops think the driver could still be trying to delay his final breath test.
He were coming out with various tactics. He wanted to read a Yellow Pages and the phone book at one point, which clearly would take you all night. That wasn't going to happen.
Which company? Are they criminal solicitors?
Don't know yet. Find out when I speak to them.
Because they're not criminal solicitors, they're not on our list. You won't be able to have them.
I don't need to find them.
Well, what we can do is we can contact the duty solicitor, which is the local solicitor.
I'm not trying to rude, I'm not having a duty solicitor.
Okay.
They're absolutely.
I have no sympathy at all for people like that. They've taken the risk, they've been caught, they deserve everything they get.
Keep going, 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 keep going. That's brilliant, that's good. Right, put that down. Your lowest reading is 83 micrograms of alcohol and 100 millilitres of breath. Okay. It is over the limit, the legal limit is 35. So what will happen, you will be charged with driving whilst over the prescribed drink drive limit.
Our priority is to save lives, and we deal with death and destruction on a regular basis, far too regular. We want to stop that or reduce it if we can. And the only way to do that is to take these drivers off the road because they are an absolute hazard.
In Hull, Mick and Rob are with a suspected burglar waiting to hear if a watch has been reported stolen from a nearby house.
DKNY?
Yeah, that's it.
Happy days. What, taken from this one? It gets better already. There's a women's with DKNY watch been taken from this burglary. He's got that in his pocket, so he's obviously done the job. So he's caught red-handed, so to speak.
I've done nothing wrong and he thinks he's clever because he's getting me for something I haven't done.
He's going to get off with it, apparently. The fact that watchfront burglar is in his pocket, 2 streets away from burglary, I don't think he's going to get away with it. So we've got a torch, some ball bearings, the spark plugs, and then now we've got the watch from the house, from the burglary, which absolutely ties it up for us. It's a hole-in-one, it doesn't get any better than that.
With the case sewn up, the cops arrange for the burglar to be transported to a police station in Hull while they follow on behind.
Hey! Result or what? Result or what? Happy days. It was this watch, I found it. Oh, did you? What, in someone's house? Did you see me finish a spark plug out of his pocket as well? Oh, there, I've had them in there ages, have you? Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
A bit like you said, every time you went into a pocket, it was like, and I'll tell you this as well.
He was absolutely banged to rights. There was no way he was going to wiggle out of that, no matter how much he denied it.
But at the station, they find him still sticking to his unlikely story.
Hey, old mate, all right? Come on.
Don't talk to me, yo.
What's up with you?
You arrested me for...
Hey, listen.
No. All right, hold on. Can I just say something? You arrested me for...
Come on, let's go over here.
No, you arrested me for something I haven't done.
Come on. Why have you got ladies watching your pocket then?
What?
Why have you got ladies watching your pocket?
Because I bought it off of somebody.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right.
Just come and stand at the desk here, buddy.
The alleged offence?
Burglary.
Not guilty.
We made an area search and cited this gentleman running into Vermont Villas. When I spoke to him, he was out of breath.
Yeah, because I suffer with asthma.
I conducted a search of his person and seized from him a silver women's DKNY watch from his rear pocket of his jeans, and he was arrested on suspicion of burglary.
Something I haven't done. It's harassment, that's all it is.
He never stopped coming out with excuses because I think he's just a career criminal, and I think he's got in his head that he has to deny it to the end because he knows if he makes any admission throughout, we will use it against him, and we will. He's been in the game long enough to know to deny everything up until the point where you stand before the jury.
Do you know something? I got arrested every...
Stand at the desk.
Get off!
Down.
Get off!
Calm yourself down. Hey.
Stop it.
Don't start with that.
I am being restrained.
Come on, mate. Before you just take him, I could do with seizing his clothing.
We'll do that.
So if have you got any brown bags I can borrow, please?
I'll get some back.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Where are we going, Rob? All right. Get off.
What? Just keep your shoes off.
I will.
Just keep your shoes off, please, pal.
It is a bit of a game to them, as much as it is to us, and that's not to trivialise it. It's just as much as cops and robbers, if you like. We're out there to catch them, they're out there to evade capture. We see his clothing for, you know, kind of glass transfer and all that kind of stuff. If we're going to smash a window, his hoodie's covered in it, so...
Can't think why that would be.
No.
Perhaps he bought that off somebody as well.
It's a shame now that we have to sit and do about 3 hours of paperwork just to,
just to prove he's a burglar.
I know, yeah.
The driver, stopped with a van load of cannabis, pleaded guilty to possession of drugs, dangerous driving and failure to stop. He was given an 8-month prison sentence, suspended for 12 months. No further action was taken against the passenger. There was insufficient evidence to prove there had been a burglary at the cannabis house. The driver, who claimed he was speeding because he had a bad stomach, was given 6 points on his licence and fined £400. The recovery van driver was disqualified from driving for 6 months for having an expired driving licence. For the bald tyre, he was issued with 3 penalty points and fined £250, and for running his truck on illegal red diesel, he was fined £500. The man caught on the M621 without insurance and the correct driving licence was also charged with obstructing a police officer. He was given 8 points on his provisional licence and fined £110. The tailgating driver, who took off at speed on the M621, was given 3 points and issued with a £60 fine. The drunk driver was disqualified from driving for 16 months and fined £235. And the man caught red-handed with the stolen watch pleaded guilty to burglary and was given 2 years and 4 months in prison.